and welcome to the only single-player podcast for March 9th, 2015. I said that weird, but it's whatever. I'm Justin Westinger. With me is Reagan Cox and Shauna Beeston, the podcast crew. And hello.
Hey.
Not much happening in like general news. But this weekend, I guess what started Friday, Thursday or Friday?
Thursday, I believe.
Thursday, PAX East 2015 up in Boston was happening, and so we're basically going to talk about that. What was announced, what we've seen so far at PAX. It's wrapped now, and it's pretty much yeah. What have you guys been up to though lately? We missed another week, so let's recap.
I've been on something of a classic PC gaming kick.
Nice.
I have like a full GOG library that I haven't touched because I just buy stuff whenever it goes on sale and then don't play it. So I've been kind of going through that. I've been playing Dungeon Keeper this last week, and it's been really, really good so far.
Yeah, you guys were chatting about Loom in the staff chat the other day. I can't remember the last time I played Loom. This has been way too long.
Yeah.
Is it on Steam though?
I believe so. Yeah.
Shit, I'm picking that up.
Yeah, you should. It's really good.
I've been ill, so I've finally got my hands on Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that. What do you think so far?
Oh my! I am the word I like using right now is I'm very impressed. Like it's a lot. It's like I knew it was good once it launched. Like people said it's good. Obviously, it was game of the year last year, but I'm very impressed from what I've seen so far. And I'm a big fan of Dragon Age and BioWare in general. Anyway, so it's been a blast so far.
It exceeded your expectations.
Nice.
Yeah, it's exceeding my expectations. I just got to Skyhold. For those that have played it and understand where I am in the game, so it's been pretty fun.
Very nice.
And I'm gonna do that as soon as we wrap up here. Go back and play.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing for a while, and will continue to be doing for a while.
Yeah. The only other game I've been playing, I played Hearthstone when it first came out, and then kind of lost interest in it. And then I was watching the Blizzard press conference at PAX and writing news about Hearthstone and stuff. I was like, yeah, that game was really good. I should play that some more. So I jumped into it, and there's been a whole new expansion. So I don't know all the cards anymore, so I'm just getting absolutely destroyed. But I'm having a blast.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
When you're like so into a game that you're really boss, and then you leave, and you come back and everything's different, and you feel like a noob again.
That's exactly what happened.
That's how I am with. I don't know if you guys have ever played Terraria. On PC.
Briefly.
My friends and I were way into Terraria for a while, and they had a big update. I don't know, last year or the year before, and we had stopped playing by then. But we all want to get back into it now, but it's so far ahead that we have no idea. There's so much content in the game now.
They've had several big updates for that game. They're really
Yeah,
good
it's
about
been-
supporting it for free.
It's a good game, definitely worth. It's got tons of content.
Yeah.
I think it's on consoles now. I'm not sure.
It is, but it's terrible. Don't buy it.
Okay.
My friend got the console. We were just kind of messing around, wanted to see what it was like, so he picked it up on 360. It's damn near impossible to control.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a mouse heavy game.
Very much so.
Terraria is.
But what have you been playing, Shauna?
Well, other than my review games, not much. I'm in the mix of trying to move, so that's been taking up a lot of my time. But I have been watching a lot of my friends play the Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
I saw that.
It
looks
is so good. There's only been one complaint out of like the 7 to 10 friends I have out there right now, saying that there was another Dragon Ball game that allowed you to kind of take the other character and just bash them through like any kind of, wall, any kind of rock. This one doesn't do that as much. You can break certain things, but you can see what you can break. Like it's a different color or something like that. and it crashes a lot. I don't know if that's because I'm in a LAN center and like maybe the internet just crashes sometimes, or the game itself is just not
That's probably
at
game
its ready.
optimization, because if you're running it on LAN, you shouldn't have any problems.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's the game. It's got some issues still that they're tweaking it, but
From what I've seen, I haven't watched Dragon Ball since I was like, I don't know. I remember. Okay, so I was talking to a friend about this the other day. That show first aired in 1989. That makes
Yeah.
me feel old.
in America,
Yeah.
Yeah, in America.
it's even older in Japan.
I know, that's so weird, but I haven't watched it since I was like, I don't know, I think like maybe late middle school, so it's been a long time. But from what I've seen of the game so far, you can tell the people that made it were fans of the show. Because there's
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of, like,
Oh, that's good.
neat-
They
That's good.
actually have clips of the show in the game.
Yeah, there's like lots of little neat details and nods and things. Like there's a lot of gestures. Like you can do, I guess. So there's, I haven't seen much of it, but I guess there's this online hub world where you basically choose your matches
Yeah.
and stuff, and you can do gestures and stuff. And there's like an entire set of like the Ginyu Force gestures. So like you can get like 4
Oh,
people to do the
sweet.
whole thing.
Yeah, it's
That's
hilarious.
dope.
Yeah, so there's lots of neat little touches. You can tell the people that made it really care about the source material.
Yeah, it's really good. It's definitely worth it. All of them bought it. They're playing it out now. I'm waiting to get it.
Very nice.
I'm also still playing Homeworld.
Nice.
Did a review
Nice.
on that. I'm still playing it. Love that game.
Worth.
Uh,
You were playing
And-
Lucius 2 the other day, right?
Oh, I don't wanna talk
You had
about
a
Lucius
review
2.
on that? Yeah. I saw it released. I tried it out for a little bit. I hadn't played the first one, but
it's so bad.
you don't. It's so bad.
It's so bad.
We were talking about it between recordings.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
I hate I don't want to diss people and I don't want to diss games. But coming from a professional point of view, this game is awful. Like,
man.
it had so much potential. And I guess if you want to, like, laugh hysterically about how bad it is, you can buy it and play it. But there's no, you get nothing from it. The story is crap. The graphics aren't that good.
So is it
The controls are shitty.
Is it bad technical execution, like bad controls, bad?
Everything.
So it's
Everything.
poorly designed and poorly executed.
Everything.
Everything is bad
Alrighty.
about this game. They're like the little cutscenes are graphically nice enough. I don't have a complaint.
Yeah.
It was creepy in a good way, and the cutscenes. So the cutscenes were fine. Other than that, everything about this game was awful.
It seemed like it had okay execution of choice. Like you could choose to do certain things to certain characters, like when trying to complete an objective or whatever.
To a certain extent, yes, you could. And that, like I said, it has so much potential, but they just didn't use it at all.
That's
Like-
how I feel
Well-
about like the horror genre in general right now. As someone who's been like a hardcore fan of horror games for a really long time now, there's 2 types of horror games. There's horror games made by people who legitimately care about the genre and know what they're doing, and then there's horror games made by people who want to chase the YouTube crowd and have Let's Players play their game and freak out and have everybody
Yeah.
buy it.
Well, this isn't really either, because you're the
Five
one
Nights at
causing.
Freddy's.
You're the one
Yeah,
causing the
no
horror.
kidding. Right. They need to.
I guess that's a good point.
I saw they're making a Friday the 13th game. They need to do more of that. I would love to see, because Alien Isolation was flawed, but it was a good adaptation of the Alien franchise.
I thought Alien Isolation did a really good job. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was.
Yeah, it translated the franchise very well. I have problems with it, like the what are they called? The Working Joes are really annoying and unnecessary.
The androids.
Yeah, and there were problems with it, but they translated the franchise well, and so I want to see them do that with more classic horror franchises, especially with like horror games getting more popular nowadays. There's a lot of like
definitely.
really awesome.
There's
potential there.
tons of source material for that stuff.
Oh,
so
definitely.
there's possibility there.
Well, and when you're working with a media like video games that can be cheesy and stupid and still enjoyable, it's like the perfect match for old cheesy 80s horror movies.
Yeah.
Because you can make a dumb
can see
game
that.
and have it still be really fun.
Yeah, just like you make a dumb movie.
right, and have it still be
Be
fun.
right.
So it's perfect.
Yeah, I feel like if they had gone a little bit more one way or another with this game, it would have been fine. Like Goat Simulator. That game is the most retarded game I've ever played. But
Yeah.
I played it, and I played it all the way through.
That was a
because
running joke in my game design courses in college.
because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
But
it was a
it
joke
drives
amongst
off the
us.
fact that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it was a joke amongst us because we were all there like learning how to design games and like putting a lot of effort into it, and it's really hard shit. And these guys just make this stupid game as a joke, and the internet blows up about it. Like they weren't planning on releasing it either. Like,
Right.
And they're totally sarcastic about it too. They just put up a video of it because they were learning the new Unreal Engine, and people lost their shit and wanted them to release it. And they made buckets of money off of it. And like when they released the iOS version, one of the key selling points was has all the glitches of the original. So like they just do not give a shit, and they're totally
Right.
okay with it.
And it worked.
It does.
It worked because that game, as ridiculous and stupid as it is, I played all of it, and I'm going to play it again. I think I heard something like they're trying to make it like an MMO style.
No, yeah, they had a update, an MMO update where it's like a game mode.
Yeah.
Where it emulates like MMOs perfectly. Like there's even like a chat, like a chat on the screen. But when I was playing it, it took me forever to realize that it's not a real chat. It's just like chat bots in the actual chat.
That's funny.
So I'm like in the chat, like as my goat berserker mage, whatever. And I was like, hey, how do I beat this quest? And it's just people not like
Not actually answering.
replying
your question.
or not even noticing my chat. I was like, oh wait, I'm not actually connected to the internet.
That's really clever.
Yeah, I haven't played it since they updated it or whatever, but like
Yeah, but no, that MMO update, it's like a huge map with actually like legit quests. But it's
that's
still
kind of awesome.
It's really fun, but it's still it's still Goat Simulator fashion.
Right,
so
it's still ridiculous.
it's very enjoyable.
And that's what I hate about Lucius too. It's like it's just trying to be serious enough where you know that all of these glitches and game breaking like disasters of the game were not supposed to be there,
Right.
and they tried and they just failed.
That's
So it's
why
like
if you want to make like a really serious piece of media, whether it be like film, music, game, you have to know what you're doing. Because the worst thing to play is a game that thinks it's serious, that's garbage. Because it just makes you uncomfortable when you play it.
Exactly. Like I saw some people on YouTube because I wanted to see what other people thought of this game. Went on YouTube to see other people play it, and it's like they're laughing at it because they're not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
They're getting frustrated and they're confused. Then they realize that there's no logic to how they're supposed to do it. So then they just and then there goes the game. That's it. You're just like
and to
they're
me,
like what? And that's what I was doing. I was like, what? What did I just do? Like
And like watching someone play a game that's supposed to be serious and like laughing at it, it's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah,
it is. It's really
uncomfortable is a good word for it.
and that's why it's not a good game because you can't make fun of it because you can tell that's not what it was made for. It was made to have some satirical, kind of humor, but all of these, I mean, there were game-breaking glitches to where my save file was gone. There was a point
that's
where
the
it would just
worst.
crash completely.
We've been having issues with games deleting save files lately. Mm-hmm. James had.
That's like the worst issue to have too.
Yeah, James had that happen with Republic, and
Yeah,
then you had
Republic
that with
got
Lucius
mastered.
too, and I had that with one other game I was reviewing. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's a very important piece of code that needs to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you release a game, make sure we can save it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Like,
been a,
I don't understand how you guys missed this.
It's been a standard
Great.
feature since The Legend of Zelda in 1986. You'd think you'd know how
Right?
to do it by now.
Yeah, I'm not worried, but knock on wood for my Inquisition playthrough.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, a lot of the save issues that we've been having in gaming lately stem from DRM too. Lots of Origin games have save file issues because
really?
they host all the save files on their servers, and then they don't stress test their servers because they're EA. So they have a bunch of people playing their game, and down goes the server, everybody's save files are gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. But that's what we've been playing.
Yep.
That's why I didn't want to mention Lucius, because I was going to get
Well,
on
I'm
my
sorry.
soapbox.
It's fine. I'm gonna quickly go over this. It's March, and March is sort of the first. The way I always look at the gaming like industry and like the release season. There's like release seasons. There's gaming seasons, just like sports or whatever else. And we're entering a gaming season with PAX. March going into like May and June. There's gonna be a lot of good releases and a lot of good stuff coming up. So starting on Tuesday, March 10th, we see a bunch of cool stuff coming. The definitive edition for Devil May Cry coming to Xbox One and PS4. Assassin's Creed Rogue coming to PC late. Sniper Elite 3 has an Ultimate Edition coming to everything. Cities Skylines is a fun little city, like sort of like SimCity, that I've been watching a few streamers play. They got early access, and it looks pretty good. Cities Skylines coming to PC. Hotline Miami 2 coming to PC, PS3, PS4, and the Vita.
Oh, I can't wait.
Definitely excited for
I got
that.
I pre-ordered and got the vinyl soundtrack.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
that's so sweet.
Definitely worth it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Coming out on the 11th on Wednesday is Ori and the Blind Forest for the Xbox 360 One and PC. I'm pretty excited for that one too. Definitely gonna play that. I think we have. I don't know if we have a most anticipated for that actually. I think we had a most anticipated, but now it's about to be out.
I
So
believe so. I don't know.
that's funny. But what else? And then coming later in March, we have like Battlefield Hardline, a few other stuff, and Mario Party 10. Heck yeah!
Isn't Witcher 3 coming out? Oh no, they
Witcher 3 comes
pushed it
out in
back.
May.
Yeah, they pushed
May
it back.
19th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I mean, they're gonna have that game. Knock on
God,
wood, but from what I've
God, I
seen,
can't-
they're
I-
gonna have that game perfectly polished. If they
That's
switch
gonna
it
be the
back.
best game.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really good. I hope.
I'm glad that you even mentioned it because with PAX this weekend there was some new information. Even before PAX, like sometime Thursday or something, Wednesday or Thursday, released a few screenshots that hype people up for a new gameplay video that they released during PAX, like 17 minutes. I think he fights like a wyvern or something.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
I was
It's pretty sick.
watching that. The coolest part about that was he was showing off the graphics and everyone was oohing and awing and they looked great. And he was like, "Yeah, these aren't even the highest settings. We're saving those for you to see." So they apparently none of the media for that game that's currently available is actually on the maximum PC setting.
Yeah, and it,
Yeah,
it still looks amazing.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
and the fact that they have the balls to give out all this media and not push the maximum limit for what it can
that's
do
crazy.
tells me that
Impressive.
it's going to look pretty gorgeous.
A lot of the footage they've shown so far is from the consoles, specifically PS4.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, they've showed a lot of console stuff, and just like Witcher 2, the console graphic settings are going to be like the lowest possible, pretty much, and it's still going to look amazing.
Right, and it's as long as
regardless.
it's optimized well, it'll run fine. And I'm sure, if I had to guess, I'd say the PC version's probably finished, and the pushback is for them to optimize and tweak the console versions. I don't know, but if I had to guess, that's what I'd say.
Well,
yeah.
most likely we know all the story and all the physical content for the game has been done since like
Forever.
like winter
It's
last
been
year.
done for a really long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I cannot wait. Like it's gonna be perfect.
So yeah, they're polishing it to a mirror shine, which we really need more of in AAA development these days.
I agree.
So, thumbs up
Exactly.
to
I
them.
mean,
Yes.
I have been waiting
God.
for years for this game, but I'd rather wait years for a perfect game than wait less for like something that isn't ready.
And the lesson that people need to take from this is were there huge swaths of people canceling their pre-orders when it got pushed back a month? No. People will wait for a game that works if you don't shove it out the
Definitely.
door, Ubisoft.
Well, I mean, you could say that about any other game. Like people keep dishing out pre-order money for games that weren't ready, and then like, oh, we'll just patch it later. Sorry.
Exactly. Release now, patch
And this
later.
this happens all the time, and we haven't learned.
Yeah, I've been burned so bad. The last game I pre-ordered was, I believe, Dark Souls 2. And before that, it had been even longer. I just don't do it anymore because I got burned too many times. Mm-hmm. And more people need to do that because the thing is, people talk a big talk. There are all these people who say, "Oh, don't pre-order. You shouldn't pre-order games because they come out broken." And then I'm sure plenty of them pre-order anyway.
Yeah.
So just wait a month. Don't even further. Don't buy a game when it first releases. You can stand to wait a month to play the game in a better condition. Mm-hmm. And it'll teach the developers that, hey, maybe if we'd waited a month to release this game in a polished state, we'd have more, early adoption.
Yeah, that's good advice. And I mean, there's already like trendsetters in the industry like right now with Witcher 3. Mm-hmm. And I want to say GTA as well, because GTA, they pushed back this stupid PC release date for God who knows how long now, and I have no doubt that's going to be as it's going to be up to par as with everybody's expectations.
Rockstar doesn't entirely get a free pass because they delayed GTA Online past the game's release date, and then it was still a broken mess when they.
That's
true.
It. That's true. Yeah.
But
what they needed a beta for that.
They tried.
They did. They needed to stress test their servers better, but. Yeah, the fact that it's getting pushed back, I think, shows me that they are stress testing their servers and making sure the PC version of GTA... Because this is the first time they've... Actually, I don't know if that's true. Did GTA Online launch at the same time as the single player for next gen?
GTA Online launched a month after the release of GTA 5.
Okay, but when they released it on PS4 and Xbox One, was it...
GTA Online was with,
Okay.
I believe it was with the single player. Yeah, I'm not 100%, but
yeah, but still, I think they're just making sure their servers can handle, because it's going to be a big game on PC. PC gamers have been waiting for this for a long time, so I think they want to make sure their servers can handle it, which is good.
I hope they get a good idea of the kind of the players they're going to get, because Heists are going to be coming out. Oh shit, in 2 days.
Finally.
I'm a hop on that real quick.
Yeah.
Heists are coming out March 10th, which is this Tuesday. So I'm sure they're already going to get that influx of players. So if they can just do the math, and I'm sure it will. I mean, it's PC. I think it's going to already be optimized anyway.
Hopefully.
Pretty well, their servers. But we'll see. The mods are going to be fantastic.
Yep.
That's all anybody wants.
Yeah, just mods and 60 frames per second.
I tell you what, I'm really, really excited for, and I wish I had a better computer to run it. GTA 5 for PC is going to come with a native like video editing software sort of deal in the game, so you can like make machinima and stuff like that. It's going to be super cool.
That's interesting.
They showed off a bit. Well, they talked about it more recently when they announced the delay again. But yeah, I'm excited for that mostly.
Was that news coming out of PAX, or was that just something they announced separately?
That's been announced for a while, but they talked a bit more about it when they delayed a few weeks ago.
Well, I was trying to transition to talking about PAX, but I ruined it. So let's talk about PAX now. But what are the major sort of things you guys have been watching at PAX?
I want to say probably the biggest thing I've seen is like, there's not a lot of big things, but the biggest things that have stuck out to me is that they announced Tales of the Borderlands, Episode 2 Tales of the Borderlands, coming March 17th. I guess that should have been on when I talked about the releases. So Tales of the Borderlands, obviously Telltale game, is coming out March 17th. I still think it's weird because they released Episode 1 of Tales of the Borderlands, released Episode 1 of the Game of Thrones Telltale game, then Episode 2 of the Game of Thrones. They just like it's not in order.
I think they have a compartmentalized studio setup, kind of like Nintendo. For those in the know, Nintendo, or not in the know, I guess, every Nintendo game is not made by the same people. They have it split into studios. So there's like Nintendo Studio A, which works on Mario games. Nintendo Studio B, can't remember what they work on. Nintendo Studio C is the Zelda games. D is Metroid and Kirby. But they have their studios split up. So while they're still releasing everything under the umbrella of Nintendo, it's technically different studios and different teams making it. And I think Telltale has a similar setup. I mean, I'd be very surprised if they didn't with all the major projects they've been taking on lately.
They doing a lot. But yeah, they released at PAX was the trailer for the episode 2 of Tales of the Borderlands. I haven't played the first one, like I've mentioned before. I love the Telltale games. I just can't play them in episodes. I have to binge play them.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, I picked up season 2 of Walking Dead, so I got to get on that. And then they announced some other pre-sequel stuff for Borderlands. I don't know why the Borderlands stuff sticks out to me. I've stopped playing Borderlands.
Yeah, I think what was it, like Claptrap playable character?
Yeah,
DLC or something?
It's called a Claptastic Voyage.
That sounds horribly dirty. Anyway,
Borderlands is good with their DLC though. They're legit expansions, or at least they have been in the past. I haven't played pre-sequel, so
I know they kind of flip flop. Like at least with Borderlands 2, what I noticed is they do like character packs and big expansions and things that actually added to the game, and then in between those they have little piecemeal things.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. I mean, pay for what you want to, pay for what you don't. If you want to look at a really good DLC structure, look at Payday 2. Because they're releasing...
worth.
Yeah. They're releasing all kinds of DLC that's cheap. You can pick up what you want alongside free expansions. They're constantly supporting... I recently this week, I hopped back into it for some reason. I don't know why. I hadn't played it since like a month or two after launch. It had been a while.
You got to play that. Get Old Hoxton back.
Yeah, I did actually.
Break
but
him out.
They added so many, not even just like new content, like so many new mechanics. Like the way the game worked was completely different. Like they're constantly supporting and adding to it.
Like new objectives, new heists.
Yeah,
and
like the whole pre-planning mode where you can like plant stuff on the map. That wasn't there last time I played it. Like that's an entirely new mechanic. They've really changed a lot, and they continue to support it for free and with paid DLC, and that's how you do it.
Yep. Overkill's good about that. They're really into the community too.
They are. Overkill's an excellent developer.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. But apart from other PAX stuff, they talked a little bit about some indie games. Necropolis was one that stood out to me. It's a little like a roguelike dungeon crawler.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It looked pretty cool.
And there's tons of Final Fantasy stuff.
Oh,
they
yeah.
announced,
Final Fantasy.
what, 14 Final Fantasy 14 DLC,
And
15 announcement stuff. Yeah, that looks good.
I think there were some new details on Type 0 HD as well.
Probably. That all looks good. I've never played the Final Fantasy games, but I appreciate them.
I haven't played them in a long time.
I'm replaying 9 right now.
9's awesome. I love 9.
And 9 was the last Final Fantasy game without the real-time turn-based attacks.
Yeah, I remember getting to 10, and what I kind of liked about the series from the very beginning was that it had writing that could, like, lots of games have writing that's serious and cheesy, but they don't do it well. But, like, the writing in Final Fantasy can switch between, like, humor and serious, like, pretty quickly, and do it without you really, like, without it being jarring. Mm-hmm. They do that really well. And then Final Fantasy X was just mouth-droolingly, nose-breathingly stupid. So I completely stopped with the series at that point.
I stopped after 10. 10-2 got me interested in 10. The 10-2 story was intriguing enough, even though I would have liked to have found out by playing. I found out the story by someone telling me, and thus played it. But Final Fantasy was made on the sole idea that they were going bankrupt and this was the last game they were ever going to make. So when it got so big, they were able to produce, all these. Well, that alone, with the the style of Final Fantasy all up to 9 is Final Fantasy. So when they changed the whole attack-based system, it's no longer Final Fantasy.
Right. And for me, I think when it hit 7, I still really enjoy 7 and 9. I don't like 8, but I enjoyed 7 and 9. But I think when they hit 7, that was the point where it stopped being a passion project that was just made by people who loved the game and
Yeah.
was more about competing and making money. Because that's when they started like, oh, we have to have good graphics and cool cutscenes to compete with Metal Gear Solid. And you could tell that's where it started to shift. And I don't think it really took full effect until 10. I think 10's when it...
10's where it hit hard.
Yeah. And so
And-
that's where I really lost interest.
And people go one way or another. They either freaking love it or they hate it. There's no in between. And I hate to say that I hate it, but I hate it. It's one of those really awful feelings of if they just named it something else, I'd be okay with it. It's like someone told me that about what was it? Guild Wars 2. My boyfriend hates Guild Wars 2 because they called it Guild Wars 2. Because it doesn't feel like Guild Wars. They changed the whole style of it. They changed... So... And I agreed to a certain point. It doesn't feel like Guild Wars anymore.
I sort of had a problem with that with Dark Souls 2 a little bit. Not to such an extreme degree. I still really enjoyed the game. But as someone who's kind of like a really big Dark Souls fan, we're very picky people.
Yeah.
As you've probably learned. But Dark Souls 2, before it came out, there were a whole bunch of rumors. Like the CEO of Sony, I believe it was Kaz Hirai at the time. He's still the CEO, right? Yeah. He said he had more interest in like another Demon Souls, and Sony owned the rights. So there was like all these rumors circulating about how it was going to be Demon Souls 2, and then they announced that it was Dark Souls 2, and that happened. But it felt more mechanically similar to Demon Souls. A lot of the mechanics that were in Demon Souls, like how you lose a portion of your life when you die, like in Demon Souls, when you die, you become a spirit. And you have half your HP unless you resurrect yourself. Well, in Dark Souls 2, it's kind of the same thing. When you die, you lose 10% of your spirit, or you lose 10% of your health, and then the next time you die, you lose 10%, down to like 20% of your health, I think. So that felt more like Demon Souls. And then Demon Souls had like consumable healing items. Like you could pick up items and use them to heal yourself. Whereas Dark Souls had just the Estus Flask that recharges at the bonfires. And Dark Souls 2 had the Estus Flask, but it also had a lot more consumable healing items. So that felt more like Demon Souls. It felt like, I mean, as someone who's been experienced in the game industry and has been playing video games since such a young age and has kind of figured out how this stuff works, I think they may have actually been making Demon Souls 2, and then it fell through, because it feels very, very mechanically similar to Demon Souls.
Do you think Bloodborne's going to change how the system works?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I'm interested. I've been trying to keep details to a minimum on Bloodborne because I don't want to know. I just want to experience it. So I don't know how the healing works, but I think I heard that there were consumable healing items in this one. But the director, Miyazaki, he stated that he likes Demon Souls more than Dark Souls, I believe. So I think maybe he's going to try and kind of work some of the mechanics in both. But what I do know is that the combat's going to be a lot different. The combat in Dark Souls is very slow and methodical, and you have to focus on drawing enemies out one at a time so you don't get overwhelmed. And in Bloodborne, you're going to aggro a bunch of enemies at once. So what you have to do is you can't sit and wait. You have to take people out really quickly before you get overwhelmed. So just those minor tweaks are going to change how the combat feels a lot. So I'm
That's gonna be
interested to see
exciting.
how that works. Yeah.
I've seen from what I've seen of Bloodborne, I've seen a lot more like companion play, like gameplay. Like there's going to be a lot more NPCs.
They're very
that
much
are
tweaking
fighting
how
with
the
you.
multiplayer works as well.
Awesome. That's exciting. But that speaking of which, Bloodborne does release this month too. Later this
yeah,
month,
it
the
does.
24th, I believe.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I'm telling you, we're kicking off. We're getting into it.
Yeah,
2015.
that's sequels to probably my two favorite modern games, Hotline Miami and Dark Souls. Those are two of my favorite games that have been released within the last 5 years.
Very quality. Yeah, I'm so excited for Hotline Miami 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I want to play Wolf. That was it. The announcement trailer happened in PAX. It's due March 17th, apparently. I just found this.
Huh.
But it's basically, it looks a lot like how American McGee's Alice is.
Ooh.
And the story is it's a twisted story on the Little Red Riding Hood tale.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
This is the first time, but
Yeah.
apparently they had to have a lot of people's help from, like, I think Greenlight or
Yeah.
What
I
was
reading
it?
About that.
early access. They went to early access for help, and it really, really did help. They had to hire. They only had 6 people working on it. They had to hire some more for a certain aspect of the game. And
Go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say, and the people really pulled through. Like, they were able to get the people hired.
I think that's the first like really good example I've seen of how to use early access.
I agree.
Instead of just throwing your game on there and being like, "I buy it," be like, "Hey, we need some cash to hire another person. If you want to play the game early and kind of help us, then here it is." I like that.
Yeah.
I think another issue with early access is how Steam does it, not so much as how developers do it. Because if you go on like top sellers and stuff on Steam, it'll just throw early access games up there.
Yeah,
with
Steam
finished
treats
products.
early access games as full retail games,
Yeah.
and so it's
Because
pretty
there's
bad.
there's no indication like directly on the storefront. You have to go into the game's page to see that
Right,
it's early
right. It'll
access.
have to be
Game page.
So yeah, a lot of it is Steam's execution. I think early access should be a separate section that isn't mingled with fully released products. You go specifically
too.
to that section. I think it could be a lot better if they do that.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. That's one of the, like, I love Steam. Like, I'm so pro Steam. Like, Steam's got everything I love. Early access is the only thing that's really bringing it down.
Early access and the lack of curation too. But while we're on PAX, I guess since we're getting close to wrapping up, the other big conference there was the Blizzard conference, which is the only one I'm really well versed in. But they announced a new single player expansion for Hearthstone, and then one other new characters.
Does the
for
expansion?
Overwatch.
Does the Hearthstone come with new heroes as well?
Yes.
Do you know?
I don't know. All I know is that it's single player, kind of like the.
They
Curse of Monkey.
released a new hero for Hearthstone.
Oh, that's good. I can't play, but like a few. I can't. I'm really bad at Hearthstone.
see, my problem with it is that the matches are so short. It's not really a problem. It's a good thing, but it's whatever. The matches are so short, and I'm so terrible that I'll lose a match in like 5 minutes and be like, all right, let's go again. And before I know it, I've like been sitting there playing Hearthstone for 3 hours, just slowly losing like 20 matches.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I just can't play Hearthstone because I don't know. I'm just bad. But yeah, that is exciting that they added at least a new hero to Hearthstone because there's only like 9 or 10.
Because they released, I'm trying to remember what the actual thing was. It was an adventure.
Yeah, it's called Curse of Noxramas.
Yeah.
It's like a single player. Basically, you have 5 wings of the. For anyone who's played World of Warcraft, there's, I guess, I don't know because I haven't, but I guess there's a dungeon called Noxramas. And I guess there's like 5 wings or like 5 hallways within the dungeon. And so in the Hearthstone expansion, you have single player fights where you go through the 5 wings.
Okay,
And
yeah.
fight like in dual AI.
I wasn't sure if that was the same thing or if it was a separate release.
No, that's a separate release. And then the other expansion they did was, or it's part of Hearthstone, I mean, but
Right.
the other expansion they did was the Goblins versus Gnomes, which is just adding a ton of cards to the game. So this will be the 3rd expansion.
Okay.
Interesting.
And the other big announcement, there were 2 new characters revealed for Overwatch, which is their like class-based take on Team Fortress, I guess. I mean, that's
Yeah,
probably
basically.
not a good way to describe it, but
That's what I'd say.
details are sparse as of yet, so that's the best I've got. But the other big announcement was this Heroes of the Dorm tournament.
Storm, yeah.
Storm.
Well,
yeah, I was about to
the
mention
tournament's
that.
called Heroes of.
Oh, sorry. I just know that
Yeah.
they got a new hero too.
Yeah, there's a new hero, a new map, and a tournament between colleges, universities.
And you win tuition. But the most interesting part of this announcement is that it's going to be televised on ESPN, which is making it the first esports event to be televised on ESPN. Which I find kind of strange because the game has not even been fully released. I don't think, has it?
Nope.
No, it's not been fully released.
It's not even. I don't even think it's even an open beta yet.
No, and
I may be wrong.
I think it's an open beta because I was playing Hearthstone and I think I had the option to download it. But
Oh, okay.
but it's not even that popular of a game, and their esports, Counter-Strike esports, have been around for like almost 20 years. So
That's what the scary thing is about these MOBAs. These MOBAs are gonna take over the world, and Blizzard has the money to put this crap on ESPN.
right, that's what I was gonna say. It just goes. Counter-Strike's been around for 20 years and has a huge esports following, but it just goes to show
yeah.
what a massive budget will do for you. I would totally watch the shit out of some Counter-Strike on ESPN if it was on there.
That'd be dope. I don't know how I feel about that getting on ESPN. I'm not a big fan of seeing video games on television.
Really?
Just because it hasn't worked yet, like with G4
Yeah.
and even like Spike.
I do
It
remember
just hasn't
watching
worked.
like old Halo tournaments on G4 when I was younger. That's
Really?
weird. I forgot about that. But yeah,
I mean, G4 did okay for a while, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's. I mean, this is different because it's esports and it's on ESPN.
well, and video
so
games in
hopefully
general are much more popular now.
Right, and it'll get some decent support too. I'll probably check it out. I'll watch it.
If live streaming didn't exist, I'd be all for it. But
Yeah.
when you've got like 4 different major Counter-Strike live streams that are all showing professional games like around the clock, there's
Yeah, I get this. Yeah, there's like Twitch is dominated.
Yeah,
by
there's no
League,
reason
Dota,
I would-
and Counter-Strike.
when I can watch-
So I get it.
Yeah, when I can watch like 2 matches simultaneously just chilling on my computer, there's no reason I'd go turn on my TV to watch a match.
Right.
But I mean, if they broadcast like ESL1 Cologne on ESPN or something, I'd watch it just to be a part of that because that'd be kind of a historic event.
Yeah, definitely. These events, they've gotten so big and to the level that like professional sports like events are.
Yeah,
It's
Counter
crazy.
Strike was at the X Games this year.
I did. Yeah, I remember that. I'm not. I watched it rather. I lost a bunch of skins in CS:GO Lounge for that because I bet on Nip and they
Oh,
lost.
yeah, that's generally a bad idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not a big MOBA player. I played League for a very long time, until I got to the point where I was playing people that were better than me and I couldn't improve. I play Smite every now and again because Smite's very different. Smite's third person, all skill shots. Every ability is a skill shot unless it's a buff or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's different.
I heard that game in
But-
general is a good like first MOBA.
Smite, yeah, definitely is. It's easy to learn. Like, I haven't played League in forever, but League's got a crap ton of items now. They keep they rework their inventory system like every year or so.
Yeah, and the it sounds dumb, but the characters in Smite are relatable. Like everyone knows who
Right,
Cleopatra
yeah.
is. Whereas
They're
when
deities.
when you played Dota 2 and there's like 102 characters and you don't
Yeah,
know
the
what any
Dota
of
2
them
characters
do.
don't even have names. They're just like
Right. It can get
Archer.
It can get really overwhelming really fast.
But yeah, I'm interested in Heroes of the Storm because they're doing new things. Like the way the map works and the way like the not the team comp, but sort of how the players are gonna have to play the map. Is different.
Yeah.
to say the least.
From-
And
from-
I'm actually pretty interested in it.
From what I've heard from my friends who play MOBAs, it's good for new players, but anyone who's actually like already into MOBAs, it's very dumbed down.
Probably, yeah, I could see that.
That's at least what I've heard. I don't play MOBAs, so I don't know, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I tend to avoid most MOBAs except for Smite. Just it's not my thing.
Yep.
I have a friend that's way too into League. He like watches League on his phone like every day. It's crazy. I'm just like, no, stop, just stop.
Yeah.
But so yeah, big announcements for Blizzard. I'd say Blizzard probably dominated PAX just because
Yeah.
they had Overwatch, Hearthstone,
Mm-hmm.
and Here's the Storm.
Yep. They had a good conference.
Yeah, they had a good
I
conference.
like these smaller events more than like, because E3, there's so much stuff coming out. Like, I have to pick and choose what I read and what I'm interested in. Whereas like with PAX, I can generally get the gist of everything that happened. So I like that.
I really wanted to go this year.
Yeah, I went last year, and I've been to RTX before. RTX is PAX is like, it is small. It's smaller than E3, but PAX East is actually a lot bigger.
PAX
Than it
has
seems.
expanded a lot the last couple of years.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people. Nothing like RTX, but it's an experience. I'm on our bill to go to E3 this year, so that's gonna be.
You have to tell me
Something.
how that is. I've been adamantly avoiding going to E3 forever.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't.
I'm not about
My
that.
my thing is I don't do crowds. So that
I get
would
that,
that
yeah.
would destroy me. And also I feel like I could do my job as far as like news and commentary and stuff goes better from home than I could at the event. Because when I'm at home, I know everything that's happening and I can keep it all organized in one spot and I'm here ready to work. Whereas at the event, you got to run around the show floor, you got to make appointments, and then you might not have a good PC with you. I feel like I don't really want to go, and I'd be able to do my job better if I didn't go. So there's really no reason for me to go.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It's gonna be exhausting work, because just like, excuse me, it's just like walking, like it's so
Oh,
so
yeah, it's a big-
so much.
It's a big
just so
convention
much.
center. I've driven
uh,
by it in LA a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to get the chance, but if I get the chance to sit in on the actual conferences or a conference, that'd be pretty cool. That's what I'm just most excited about.
That'd be interesting. Do you have any
But,
like appointments set up? Are you meeting with any indie developers or anything like that?
We haven't. Try to keep information to a minimum. Me and the our other two writers, Cedric, Tripp, and I, we're our E3 crew this year. But yeah, I'm gonna talk with them sometime this week on
Getting stuff
like
set
travel
up.
information.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They have the list. They're working on all that. So
Very cool.
they have a big list, a pretty big list. Hopefully we can work all that out. So lots
Yep.
of stuff to come in June for you guys
Definitely.
watching and listening. That's pretty exciting. I'm actually really excited.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been a part of live E3 coverage before. It'll be
Yeah,
a new
I haven't.
experience for me too.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm excited because it's gonna be lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff. We're
Definitely.
gonna see Fallout 4, Elder Scrolls 6. Probably not either of those.
Probably not. Maybe,
We'll see.
who knows?
Hopefully,
Yeah,
Something.
getting into that Bethesda conference is going to be hard.
yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
That's gonna be yeah. Everybody's gonna be wanting Fallout 4. Fallout 4? Question.
Yeah, I bet there's going to be a ton of people sitting outside the door waiting for people to come out too.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But I don't know if there's much else from PAX that's really big that stands out. Lots of cool indie stuff. There's always PAX has their own like indie section.
Right. That's another
Of,
reason I like PAX, because they've got their own like indie booth.
Yeah, and they do a good job of pointing out some of the better indie stuff.
Definitely. Doesn't
And
it?
that
And you
ranges
actually get to meet
from,
like some of the
mobile
developers
to-
and stuff.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think PAX East either this year or last year was in a 2-floor building, and the first floor was all like the LAN parties, AAA developers and stuff like that, and then the second floor was entirely dedicated to indies.
I think that does make sense. From what I remember last year, there was 2 floors. I don't remember exactly what was there, but they have a main show floor. Like there's the main floor
Uh-huh.
or main floor with all all the booths and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a few other halls and stuff. Like there's panel halls and everything else, but they utilize like the entirety of the convention center.
Man, setting that stuff and tearing it up, or setting that stuff up and tearing it down must be a pain in the ass.
God,
I never really thought about that.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah.
No, what's even more of a pain in the ass is being in charge of the whole thing. Like I can't even imagine.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a cool thing. Like there's more and more conventions popping up every year. There's I don't know if you're familiar, but the Escapists.
I go to that
They have
every
their-
year.
It's in like North Carolina,
Yep,
isn't
it's
it?
in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, I just heard about that. Like,
Really?
there's one right
It's
there.
actually, I heard the Escapist is falling apart. Like, I heard they're
Really?
actually, I don't know. Let me look it up real quick because that's actually important to me.
Did it? I correct me if I'm wrong. I think Jim Sterling left to do his own thing, like do his own YouTube channel.
No, he didn't.
He didn't? Okay.
That was me. That was me not believing you. I'm not sure about that.
Okay. I know he's started focusing on his own YouTube channel and really developing that. I don't know if he actually left the Escapist to do it though.
I don't think he did because I haven't heard about it, and I'm really close with like keeping tabs on the Escapist.
Yeah.
Because the expo, I mean, the expo's tiny, but it is
Yeah.
so much fun. They make
I'm-
sure
Yeah.
that there's something that you do constantly. The panels are amazing.
That's good.
And then you always have, like, if you want to be involved, like the zombie versus human constant fight. Basically, you can bring Nerf guns. And they give you, if you don't have Nerf guns, they give you like tube socks to tie into a knot and you can throw them. So basically, they start out with one zombie and they give you these bandanas that has human on one side and zombie on another. So there's one zombie, but if you're tagged, you become a zombie. So you have to flip your bandana over. And if you shoot the zombie with the Nerf gun, they take their headband down and they have to stand there for 5 minutes not tagging anybody. They're out. And this is outside of the convention. The whole convention area is like just one big building, and then it has a lot of space to run around, you know, without traffic or anything. So you basically can go into hiding and like,
That's
awesome.
It would get really chaotic.
yeah, when you're inside, you know, no game. But you step outside, you better be ready to run.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I want to look into that because I'm pretty close to.
Yeah, we actually live within
That-
an hour of each other. We should go next
Yeah,
time.
I'm down with that.
I think it used to be in October. I think they changed it. I think 2050 already happened.
But yeah,
But yeah.
I'm like, there's so many. I want to see. What was that convention that happened last year? It was just like an empty convention hall with a little bouncy ball pool thing in the middle. Like the
I didn't know that was an actual convention.
I have no idea.
it was a real thing. People paid. I can't remember the name of it.
I don't know.
And someone like peed in it.
Ew. That's the problem. That's my problem with conventions. You get that many people in one spot, you're bound to get like a couple crazies.
Yeah, it's a trip because you got crazy people plus cosplayers plus developers. It's a whole thing. Plus people trying to interview people, trying to do their jobs. It's a fun time. Conventions are a fun time, so we'll see what the rest of the year has in store with us. That's probably gonna wrap up our podcast for this week. PAX was a fun time. If you went to PAX, let us know what you saw there, what you liked and what you didn't like from PAX East this year. I like PAX East. I like PAX Prime a lot better. Just I don't know why. I just do. But let us know what other conventions you're excited for. What are you excited for as The Witcher 3 as much as
Oh
we
my
are?
gosh.
I'm sure you are. Who's
Did you
not?
get that? Did you get that sweet Hotline Miami vinyl?
That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, so be sure to play all the new games coming out this month. We're getting into it. It's gonna be a fun year, and this is sort of the beginning of it, even though
March.
we're 3 months in.
Yeah.
But be sure to stay tuned. Only SP. We have more Only SP forums coming out regularly now that we can actually get them done. So be sure to tune into those. If you have any things you want to see us talk about, whether it is on the forums or on the podcast, be sure to let us know. Twitter, comments, wherever. And yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. I'm Justin. With me, Shauna, Reagan.
Yep.
Peace.
And peace.
Bye.